Good evening, Toastmasters. From a lofty platform height, I'm going to talk about social media platforms. So where will you find me currently? Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. YouTube, I hear. Wow. Before I tell you about building my social media presence, I'll need to start from the beginning. So let's rewind. 6 years ago, you would not find me on social media. I left no digital footprint. Facebook had been invented years ago, but I decided to stay away. So what is my reason for starting a social media presence? Well, before I start, the foundations is 6 years ago, in 2018, I co-founded Wheeler and I Chartered Surveyors. And as a commercial surveyor, we realised people are not leafing through the yellow pages to look for companies. They are scrolling, and certainly a digital presence is required. So reluctantly, I created Facebook profile, Instagram profile, what used to be Twitter profile for Wheeler and I Chartered Surveyors. And so began the building process of a social media presence. And one thing that you would like as a business is to be visible. So from some of the experience I'd like to share now are the three kind of tools that have helped us build a digital presence. And that's what I will refer to as my 3 Cs. So the first one, most importantly, is content, whether that be pictures, words. It'll be content that relates to why you're building a presence. So for business, it'll be around about what we do as commercial property surveyors. We deal with shops, we deal with people, landlords and tenants. And it'll be about what will be of value to your audience or what might help them. If you're doing a social media presence for a hobby or educational purposes, then it'll be giving your audience information that would help them kind of follow you and engage with you. Secondly is consistency, and that is being present on social media platforms is about posting something on a regular basis. So either weekly, monthly, just to be consistent, as opposed to posting something on Monday and then running away and leaving that until a month later. And then you think, oh, no one's looking for us. What's going on? No one's engaging with us. So it's about being consistent in being there and being seen as reliable and trustworthy. And lastly, it's about conversation. So social media, people are worried that no one's engaging, no one's developing personal skills, but there is still conversation. So when you post something online, you have people comment on them, hopefully, or then you reply, and then it becomes what's called engagement. And the conversation is keeping you present and kind of visible for that person. So it's not a one-way street, social media, despite some people hiding behind a screen. It's about having a conversation with either your audience, your peers, and keeping kind of the engagement going. So whilst I've been building these pillars of social media and visibility, I had 2 lessons I'd like to share that hopefully will help you when you're building your visible presence, and kind of cautionary tale as well. So as we were starting 2018, we now are in 2024. So around about 2020, a couple of years in, I was doing all the hats, apart from being a surveyor, I was admin and social media. And I found the first thing I was learning about is to be guarding of your time. I was on there constantly trying to do all the jobs, and I found I was quite close to kind of burnout, and it was just too exhausting trying to do everything and constantly scrolling, commenting, coming back to it, and just making sure, we're staying visible, because that was quite important at the time. And so I say guard your time and make sure that social media doesn't become your entire world, and just be kind of maybe allocating times for specific jobs throughout your week, really, rather than being constant. And the second one is really, you don't have to be everywhere at once. There are so many platforms. You'll probably, ask each one of you, you can probably name a different one. Just focus down on one or two that will suit you or suit your business, because some platforms you prefer and some you really just won't understand or don't like. For example, I really like LinkedIn. I really don't understand Twitter. So it's kind of like what works for me helps keep me kind of rounded and sane. So in summary, we had to start from the ground, building our kind of presence and using our content, consistency and conversation in making sure we stay visible to our audience. And I even kind of branched out and not only created business profiles, I've got a personal profile and as well as a hobby profile. And lastly, my YouTube. Well, this is what I'm doing in terms of recording my Solent Speakers Toastmasters journey, and I've put my videos online. And finally, just to leave you with one kind of takeaway, is to be kind. Social media is just one moment. So be kind to the person that's posting. It could just be capturing one moment. You don't know what's happening behind the screen. And also be kind to yourself, because sometimes you are your own worst critic. Thank you.